Stella Jang, a graduate of AgroParisTech of the Grandes Ecoles, an elite institution in France that has produced many renowned people. She used to work at an international cosmetics company in France, but she always wanted to achieve her long-cherished dream of becoming a musician. Stella Jang has risen to stardom in Korea for her outstanding academic background and proficiency in foreign languages. Today on Heart to Heart, singer-songwriter Stella Jang from France.
Des yeux qui font baisser les miens, un rire qui se perd sur sa bouche, et voilà le portrait sans retour de l'homme auquel j'appartiens. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose. Il est entré dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause. C'est lui pour moi, moi pour lui dans ma vie. Il me l'a dit, m'a juré pour la vie. Et dès que je l'aperçois, alors je sens en moi mon cœur qui bat.
Wow, that was very pretty. Wow.
Thank you.
I think your vibration was so femininely beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, it was beautiful. So can you tell us about that song you just sang for us?
This was La Vie en Rouge from Edith Piaf, which is a very famous French chanson singer. And La Vie en Rose literally means the life in pink or in rose, because rose can mean pink and the flower rose. And I think this is known as there are English lyrics as well for this song, but they kept the title La Vie en Rose. So it's just a very beautiful song about falling in love and how I see everything in pink when I fall in love. And I like to sing this song because it's in French. And as I studied a very long time in France, sometimes people ask me to, can you sing something in French? So this is usually the song I sing.
An already beautiful song, even more beautiful. So thank you. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to listen to you sing on our show, Heart to Heart. Now, most recently, your name became the hottest word or the most searched word on the net. That is right after you appeared on a Korean television program called 문제적 남자. It's called
That's
Hot
right.
Brain, I guess. Did you expect to receive so much attention?
No, I did not. I really didn't expect to get that much attention. I thought I will get just a little more attention than as usual. And that was cool, but at the same time, it was weird. And I wasn't that much excited. I wasn't as excited as my parents or people around me, because after a few experiences, I just realized that I should not be so excited with small achievements, because I think it can happen to everyone. And so if you are too excited with a very small achievement, and after that comes the bigger disappointment. So I just thought that, okay, that's cool, but keep your mind cool too.
Yeah, I think I understand, because I'm kind of that way as well. I try not to have high expectations because I don't enjoy being disappointed. So I guess I try to play it safe as well. Now, what drew the viewers' particular attention was the fact that you're a graduate of the Grandes Ecoles. It's an elite institution of France. Now, they're known to be highly selective, and there isn't a very large student body. So could you maybe tell us about the education system in France and about the Grandes Ecoles in particular?
Well, the education system in France is nothing very different from Korea until the high school. Because you have 5 years of primary school and 4 years of middle school. You have 3 years of high school. And after the high school, you pass the baccalaureate, which is something like an SAT or 수능 in Korea. So after the baccalaureate, you can either go to a normal university or special universities called Grandes Ecoles, which is just literally big schools. And in order to get into those Grandes Ecoles, you have to pass through the 2 years of preparatory school or 3. And after those 2 years or 3 years of preparatory school, you have an exam called concours. And after the concours, you can go in the Grandes Ecoles. And yeah, that's I think the right word for Grandes Ecoles is the most prestigious universities in France.
Now, you mentioned something about speaking 3 different languages, but I understand that you're known to speak many more foreign languages.
I have to clarify one thing here.
Is it not 6 foreign languages? Because obviously Korean, your mother tongue, English, we're communicating in English, French, obviously. Other languages? What other languages do you speak?
I don't have the same level as in French or English, but I can speak Spanish. And what I really need to clarify is that in 문제적 남자, I can't say that it was a mistake or exaggeration, but I told them that I could only survive in few other countries, such as China or Germany. But I can really say just basic things. I can just have a very basic conversation. Have you ever learned languages like Spanish or French?
Yeah. Oh, yes. I took Spanish in middle school.
Yeah. So they all have the same root, the Latin languages. And when you speak French, it's easy to learn Spanish because they're very, very similar. And I've never learned Portuguese, but when I was in Portugal, I was so surprised because I could understand what was written down. But as I'm not familiar with the sonority, phonetics of that language, I don't really understand. But when it's written down, I can understand a few words and just try to figure out what it's saying. And so, yeah, I think Portuguese would have been much more easier for me to learn than German, for example.
Well, speaking 2 languages for me is difficult enough. Could I maybe ask you to say hello, give a brief introduction, or anything simple in all those languages that you can speak? Say hello to our viewers.
I'm looking at that camera.
Sure. Yes.
Okay. 大家好，我叫 Stella. Ich bin ein Sänger von Korea. Je suis très ravie de vous avoir rencontré à travers cette chaîne Aliran. Y quiero mostrar a más personas del mundo mi historia y mi música. Obrigada.
Wow. I was hoping to give you time to kind of practice, but you did it just like that.
It was just very basic sentences. So.
Wow. Okay, we'll talk more about your music career and life in just a bit.
Okay.
Now, everyone watching, you are tuned into Heart to Heart, and today joining us in the studio is singer-songwriter Stella Jang. We'll find out more about her music, the kind of music she writes and performs. So let's take a look. We'll be right back.
Pineapple pen, apple pen, pineapple pen, pineapple, apple pen. I love you, I love you, I love you. That's all I want to say. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead, when you're miles and miles from your nice old bed.
저는 지금도 힙합을 너무너무 좋아하고 즐겨 듣고 어떻게 보면은 다른 음악 장르들도 되게 좋아하고 많이 받아들이려고 노력하고
소녀라고 하기엔 나이가 좀 많은 감이 있네. 그래도 마음 많은 소녀인데 듣는 사람마다 내 눈을 피해. 난 매일 손꼽아 기다려 한 달에 한 번 그댈 보는 날 가난한 내 마음을 가득히 채워줘. 눈 깜짝하면 사라지지만.
Now, France is known as the most romantic country in the world. And I'd like to ask you, when and why did you decide to move there?
I went to France in 2004, so back then I was 12. And one of my mother's friends lived there with her children. And she told us about the French education and everything that, and so she suggested my mom to send me.
Ah, I see.
And when my mom asked me if I wanted to go to France, I just said yes without hesitation.
Really?
And now I'm thinking that it was so weird. I just felt like I had to leave. And I just had a very big dream about something different from Korea. And I just wanted to experience something more and discover something over the horizon. And I didn't know what was waiting for me. And back then I couldn't speak a word of French. And I had a very hard time at the beginning. And I thought that I wasn't going to stay that long because I stayed for 11 years. And I don't know what made me stay that long in France. It was truly because I really liked the country. But at the beginning, it was just out of curiosity. And I don't think it was just bravery, because I was brave because I didn't know anything, because I was ignorant. And I think, you know the saying in Korean, 무식하면 용감하다? I think that was exactly what I was back then.
Well, I think you're a very mature 12-year-old. Because if I look back at when I was 12, all I thought about was playing with friends. I mean, you know, doing homework. And if my mother had asked me, do you want to go to a foreign country alone? If my mother wouldn't have traveled with me, I probably would have said, no, I don't want to go. I'm scared to go. But you were courageous, and I think you were a very mature 12-year-old.
I think that's partly because I went to Canada when I was 11 years old during the summer holidays, and only for 1 or 2 months. And that gave me such a positive energy and positive image of what's a foreign country. And so I expected the same thing. But what I missed was that, the point that I missed was that I was on vacation in Canada. And I also spoke a little bit of English before going to Canada, but I couldn't speak a word of French before going to France.
Right.
And at the beginning, I wasn't in Paris. I was in a city called Nancy. And it's not a very big city like Paris. So people there don't speak English or don't speak Korean, and they're not even used to see Asian people. I think now it's maybe different, but 13 years ago, it was not the case. So I was the only Korean of the whole school. So I think it helped a lot to improve my French. And yeah.
Well, was it difficult to get along with friends there? I assume in the beginning it was difficult because...
The beginning was very difficult because I really couldn't understand a word.
Right.
Even if people asked me, what's your name? I couldn't answer because I couldn't understand what's your name. And but after the time passed. And yeah.
So you had the choice to, I guess, continue your studies or maybe... choose to do something else, but
get a job.
Get a job, do something related to your major, for example. But you chose to do music. Did you always have an interest in music, or how did it happen for you?
I started to have an interest in music in high school. So it's quite a long time ago. But back then, my parents had a very high expectations from me, and not only my parents, people around me, because I went to France for my studies and everything. So I didn't want to fail in something that I've already started, and I also didn't want to disappoint them. I wanted to meet their expectations. So I studied, but at the same time I wanted to do music, and it was obviously my biggest passion. And so I've always thought that after my diploma, I'm going to be free. I'm going to do whatever I want to do with my life. I'm going to do music. And that's what I'm doing.
All right.
And even if people around are saying, yeah, but you already did all these studies, and after all this, you choose music, which is risky and not safe. And I would tell them we only live once. And I already have my safety jacket. And so even if I spend a few years in music, even if it doesn't work out, I mean, I would have tried. And I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I guess what matters is that you enjoy what you do. So when you told your parents that you wanted to do music, were they totally against it? Or at some point did they come to, I guess, support your passion for music?
Well, at the beginning, they were very furious. No, I won't say it furious. They were. It was not just that they were not happy. It was they didn't believe me. They didn't want to believe me.
They didn't want to believe you.
And they didn't want to believe me because they thought that it'll be just something that'll pass. And because it was in high school that I told them that I want to do music. And they thought that, yeah, but if she continues in her studies, she'll just let it go. And I never let it go. So now I don't think they abandoned the idea that I could get a proper job with normal salary and everything else that everybody wants. But I think I made them understand that I want to do this. And I also explained them that when I was studying, I had to force myself into do it. And in order to concentrate for hours, it asked me a lot of energy. But when I'm making music or recording stuff or writing songs, I could spend hours doing it without being exhausted. So I think that was the huge difference.
I could be red, or I could be yellow, I could be blue, or I could be purple, I could be green or pink or black or white. I could be every color you like. I could be red, or I could be yellow, I could be blue, or I could be purple, I could be green or pink or black or white. I could be every color you like.
Now, you just mentioned something about writing songs and performing, and you can put in as many hours as you want or could, and you really don't end up feeling exhausted. So you, of course, write your own songs and you perform your own songs. And I'm curious where you get your inspiration from. Where do you get the inspiration to write your songs?
I get my inspiration from my daily life in very basic things. For example, when I'm taking bus, I'm like, why don't I write a song about taking a bus? And then when I take subways, I ask myself, why don't I write a song about transfer. And so I wrote a song about transferring.
You did?
Yeah. And it's not literally about transferring, but about, well, there's an expression in Korean when a guy just dumps a girl and go to another girl right after. It's called a transfer.
Oh.
And so I thought I could assimilate the situation with the transfer. So I wrote a song about the transfer. So I just start with very small things, and I just put
you build
some details in it. And yeah.
Oh, it's very creative. I thought you meant really, I mean, a transfer from one subway line to another subway line, but you're talking about how...
if you read the lyrics, I really talk about the transfer. I take the Shinbundang line, and then after I take the line 2 in Gangnam Station, and then it made me think about the ex because he transferred after me.
신분당선을 타고 강남역에서 2호선으로 갈아타 1-1번 문 앞에 서서 열차를 기다리다가 눈물이 났어 화도 났어 그렇게 그 여자가 넌 좋았니 어지럽어들 뭘 봐 설마 오는 사람 처음 봐 걱정 마 몇 년만 지나면 다시 볼 일은 없을 테니까 부자가 돼야지 택시만 타야지 면허는 있어도 난 운전을 못하니까 자차는 나중에 사야지
I'd like to ask you what you hope to express or achieve through your music?
Well, when I write lyrics, I don't really think about what ideas or what opinion I want to express through this. I just stick to my intuitions until now. But maybe it'll change one day when I will have strong opinions to express or very strong ideas that come to my life. But I've just started, so right now I don't want to put myself in a cage and force myself into writing this song and this song. So I would really love to try as many things as I can with music and show as many things that I can to people. And talking about achievements, I don't really have a very big ambition in terms of achievement. I just want to continue to make music and to earn my living with it until as long as I can. And I think that's very hard to achieve. And that's my dream for now.
I see. Do you have any immediate future plans that you can tell us about?
I released an album, a mini album, a few days ago.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, so the title of the song is called 월급은 통장을 스칠 뿐.
Wow, it's an interesting title.
Yeah, it's a mini album about working people, and especially in Korea, I think, because other songs are like, because the English title of the song is Vanishing Paycheck. Because when a paycheck is in your account, it just suddenly disappears.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to express through that song. And other songs are Day Off, Departure, because I want to go far away, and A Case of the Mondays.
And last but not least, before we say goodbye, I'd like to ask you a pretty obvious question, but what does music mean to you?
It's a very old friend that I hate the most, but I love the most. Yeah.
Right. A friend that you hate the most, but love the most. A true friend, a good friend, I guess, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us on Heart to Heart today and for sharing your stories about your life and your music career. I hope that your new album does really well. I'll be sure to grab one myself.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.